And hello, everyone. Welcome back to FPL In The Trenches, Frontline Prediction League in the Trenches, Frontline League over on X, Frontline Prediction League right here on this YouTube channel. Like, favorite, subscribe. Follow us on all the stuff there as well, and you can go into that Discord down below. In the links down below. Stuttered a little bit there, but I'm going to keep this in because that's always fun. That Discord down below gets you the Frontline Prediction League Discord. You can see this booking page we're about to talk about, the results page we're about to talk about. All the stuff is there. Character chat, live event for TNA Impact tonight, or whatever night we happen to be recording on. Check all that stuff out. Character chat, etc., etc., etc. Please go check that stuff out. And I'll mention as well, there's Top of the Card Pod. Same Discord, but Top of the Card Pod on Twitter. Top of the Card Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. We recorded an episode last night for basically 3 weeks worth of stuff for Crown Jewel, Halloween Havoc, Bound for Glory, plus a lot of other stuff going on like the Hurt Business, a little bit on the Ring Boy scandal, and even things like Jericho's ROH champion. A lot of topics covered there. It takes a bit to get out there, but probably be next weekend because we don't have a show for a while, and we'll talk about that here as well. But I am your co-host, Scott. Joining me, as always, for this 200th episode, BeerMe, if my count is right, is BeerMe. BeerMe, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Scott. How about yourself?
I'm good. I am not tired. I might look it, but I'm going to be staring at the screen for like hour 10. So, whatever. But I'm good. I'm good. How about you? Are you good? Good to go?
Yeah, I'm good to go. I yawned before we started this, but I'm actually not tired. I don't know why. I don't know why I yawned, but yeah, I'm good.
We
Good to
do
go.
record these at like almost 9 p.m. my time, and usually we actually go a little later because we usually talk and get stuff kind of out of the way first, and then record like 9:30. So this is early start for us tonight, but bear me, let's dive into this. We got Crown Jewel this past weekend coming from Saudi, and in the FPL, we're back to no contest land for the world title because Daisy Noel and Halcyon went to a no contest, which it looked like Daisy was going to lose. It looked like Halcyon had this one won for the longest time, but then nope, and it was neck and neck. So here we are with Halcyon again, so close, but you've got next. We've talked about that, but how this kind of goes is Halcyon's got to be in that conversation after that, but there's only so many conversations to have before the Rumble happens, and then we have Mania, and things are kind of like predicated by that, so we'll see what happens there. But how do you feel about that? The Daisy retained. I'll say barely, because it was by a no contest draw, but do you feel more confident against Daisy or against Halcyon in this situation? Because you're the next challenger, right? So.
Yeah, I think both are great competitors, so I don't really have a preference. They're both kind of equal to me, so.
Hard to beat, yes.
Halcyon had it up until Cody didn't hit 3 crossroads. He just hit 2.
Yep.
So that's all it took.
There you go.
But
a bonus can do everything, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And losing a match like KO and Randy also really throws things out of line. So, yeah. Well, let's move through the further results. We have the FPL Canadian Championship. Alex Kiyama has been dethroned in a Watson Rules match. The new champion is now the GMSG, and we'll have more on that whole situation as we talk about the next show coming up. But yeah, GMSG is the Canadian champion. He has singles gold. So yes, once again, BeerMe, you don't have FBU with all the gold because I'm looking down there. The Kings of the Ring did retain against CT and Luke. The Reaction did not claim the title, so you are again one man out. It is you this time that is one man out, but you're going for the world title. I hope your boys keep everything through Full Gear so you can pull that trigger at the end, but we'll see. But how do you feel about Jimmy getting that Canadian title that I never got? I'm not bitter.
You mean the Cleveland title?
Yeah, we'll talk about that as we get here. Yeah, the FPL Cleveland Championship. If you want full details on that, go read the results, and there's even a picture of the belt. It's, yeah.
I'm ecstatic for him. It's his first singles title in the FPL, so hats off to him.
Which is 200 episodes of The Trenches in. It's like 4 years worth of time. Plus, I think he was tag champ before that, even back in the JRPL. Like, I don't remember the last singles title he had. So, and that's not knocking anything, but it's just like it's hard to get him. I've not won one here either, so I've been a tag champ for like 2 months. I know what it's like, so yeah. Speaking of new champions, Will Colt did win the FPL American Championship. He did dethrone Smooth Rock in a ladder match. And I don't know the specifics of this one. I did say it offhand, and I think it's true. And I even thought about the logistics of it, but I think Will Colt in like 60 days or whatever it is the fastest to debut and win a championship. I forget his actual time frame. You can go back and look at it. But even going back to the origins of stuff, we didn't have our first champions till February and March. And the FPL started in January. Technically January 1st, but more toward the end of January with the Rumble. But even that, going from a technical debut there, might have been longer before the first champions were declared with the Canadian, the American, and the tags in like February and March. So this could be the fastest championship rise in FPL history, which is pretty cool to really look at and go from. So I like that. I'm honestly bummed that Atlas and Smooth both lost. No word of a lie. But I am happy for the new titles because I always like that stuff. I like it when championships move around a lot. I don't feel it devalues it. I feel that means we have a lot of worthy competitors. So Atlas can absolutely get back in there, and so can Smooth Rock, 100%. He's already been American. You got to think he's going after the world too, so he's going to be gunning for whatever you're looking at right now, BeerMe. So,
right, 100%.
What's your thoughts with Will Colt as new American champion?
Yeah, hats off to him. Fastest person to get a title in the FPL. That's a big deal, and he showed that he's here to stay, and he got the job done.
Even if it isn't officially the fastest, it's one of them. Like, the conversation's happening because of it. I think that I made it up. Like, I brought it up, but yeah. The tag titles, as mentioned, the reaction, Jonathan C.T. Martin and Luke Gray did not dethrone the Kings of the Ring, so Bastion and Broken Nerd do retain the tag titles. So FBU had a pretty good night, and we'll talk more about your match as we go here. Black Dragon Empire, Jason Blades and Orion did defeat the Round Table, Jackson Myrtle and Static. James Blake beat Detrick Cyrus by only 1 point, so he has rebounded, but I'm not knocking Detrick at all here, but Blake has had some big losses that he doesn't normally have. And I say that. He has, obviously, but they're few and far between. These ones are not few and far between. They are common and collected. So, that might be it, though, and he might go the rest of the year undefeated. This could be the start of that. But still, that little blip doesn't normally happen, and it did. So we'll see what happens there. Stone Collective 2.0, Billy Grayson and Victoria Fiore did defeat Chilltown, Ralantando, and Hiroshin Moses by quite a bit, 41-25. Like, 25 for a team is a rough patch for those guys. Considering single scores, Detrick and James, like I said, it was 20-19, like 5 more points, and they beat a team. So a little rough there. Payne beat Cam Popplestone. Again, a little bit of a rough patch for Cam, but good show on Payne. He's a veteran who keeps going through and trucking through it. The Light of the Cult, Danny Light Jordison and Kurt Cult did defeat the Call of the Mountains and the MBPA. So we did have a no-show that led to having to move around a tag match. Basically, we took a match out and we put this team in. But look at that now. The Call of the Mountains versus the MBPA versus Light of the Cult, and Light of the Cult won. That's one that we would have wanted but not picked, right? Like, it's
right.
They've not been able to pull that trigger, and there they did. So good showing on them. 32-28 for that score. Eli beat Jonathan Monroe, so Eli, he's on a bit of a run right now. Some might say a streak. Yeah. We'll see what happens there.
A slide, an upward
slide. Lucifer beat Aiden Mack. I beat Kyer. I did pretty good on that one. I got a rebound there, so I'm happy with that one. Thank you, Kyer, for the match and the giraffe. Go read a Bachelor Party Battle Royal from 3 years ago for details there. BeerMe, you did defeat James Costner, 24-17. The Wolfpack beat Diamond Syndicate. Hunter Williams and Mark Steele did defeat the former tag champions, RGX and Stella. Big win for those guys against that that duo. The Arbiter beat CJ Hawk. Again, Hawk, he'll rebound it, but Arbiter proving he can get it done. However, in a non-title match, Captain Krulix Blackwell and Kevin Dynamite went to a no contest. Kevin Dynamite is the renamed Woe. So Woe, because
Whoa.
He's kind of serious up his character a bit, so there's a revision.
I like it.
The Goose, I like the name Kevin Dynamite. I like when we have names.
Yeah.
I've said this before, but I love the fact of the namings that we have here. And Eli in the chat actually mentioned something funny. He's like, who has a real name here? And I know Matt Zion, Matt's his real name. And For me,
Right.
Scott
Right.
is mine. His is real as well, and like GMSG is some initials and things, and not many do because you got things like the Arbiter and BeerMe Jesus and things like that. So like you got your wrestler names. Like for every Adam Copeland, you've got a Yokozuna, but you've also got
Yeah.
Kane. Like that's a name. Sheamus,
Mm-hmm.
okay. The Big Show, what? We've got James Blake, Detrick Cyrus, Victoria Fiore, Billy Grayson, Hiroshi Moses, Payne, Sheriff Dog,
Yeah.
Aiden
Yeah.
Mack. What?
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
So Kevin Dynamite, hell yeah. Like that's
Mm.
that's like a Razor Ramon name. It's like it's a real name, but it's not.
Right.
Like Mark
Right.
Steele, okay, but yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, technically, Krulex Blackwell, captain, is one as well.
Captain. Yeah.
The Goose versus Redhead 12. Again, you want to talk about names? There you go. Goose did win, as did Rate Wrestle beating Matt Zion. Supreme Rock beat Mr. Glee, CM Carlito, X Memories, and JJ Rocky. You want to talk names? There you go. None of
Right.
those are real except for JJ Rocky, and that's like abbreviation and such. But yeah, Pushino beat El Cid. We have Wookie beating Jeffrey Warhol and Jut Jut beating Papa Snooch. So a lot of achievements on this one. So go in here and take a look at what's there. Orion got his GMSG and Will Colt got their title wins. Jeffrey Warhol and Wookie got match of the night actually, 27-18. Is that right? Does that average work out for that? I guess it does. Goose got 1,000 points, etc., etc. There's the kickoff show with the details. There's the matches. There's a lot in here, including backstage stuff with RGX. Again, storyline stuff progresses in the write-up. I'm not going to read it here to give it away. Please go check it out in the details, in the matches. Chilltown and Stone Collective Aftermath, Black Dragon Empire, Tag Title Aftermath, and of course the Canadian Title Aftermath. I'll mention it. GMSG is an ass. He did stuff with the belt and held up an FBU title belt with an upside-down maple leaf. And he's renamed it as the Cleveland Championship, and it's going to be held under Varga rules. So Watson is named after Billy Watson, the first Canadian world champion in real life, Whipper Billy Watson. And we found, I believe it's Billy Varga. So that's kind of funny. It's another Billy. But Billy Varga is a Cleveland renowned wrestler as well. So there we go. But then there's the aftermath of the American title and the world title and all this fun stuff. And then chaos because you guys came out and did your thing, FBU. So yeah, let's move towards that with Full Gear. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. So Full Gear is going to be Saturday, November 23rd, 8 p.m. I think it's already confirmed to 6:30, whatever pre-show, so 5:30 deadline. Keep that in mind. We do have the world title, Daisy Noel versus BeerMe Jesus. Daisy gets to try to keep the title that she won using Money in the Bank against you, BeerMe, at an AEW show where there's a lot of points at stake. So how do you feel going into that?
Uh, I feel all right. I think it'll be a good match. Last time we had a match here, I lost, but we got match of the night. So
As you do.
hopefully I flip that around and win and get match of the night, and we'll call it square.
Well, if you do that and everything else stays through with the Cleveland Championship being retained, because that is being defended, and there's the belt again, the belt that GMSG and I kind of worked on together. With a Varga Rules match, he will be defending, and I'll have his competitor here in a moment. We also have the American Championship being defended by Will Colt, and a stipulation to be named against a competitor to be named.
I have that.
I can say I believe we have that. We have a Fight Pit submission match, Billy Grayson versus CJ Hawk, and that's it. So let's talk about these matches, BeerMe, because here we go. I do have the Varga Rules Cleveland title match. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say. And I have two other matches. What do you have to announce?
I have the American Championship match, and I have two other matches, so I have three altogether.
Okay. I'll just mention one of mine. RGX is going one-on-one with Jackson Myrtle. And this could be a big show for Jackson to go out there and take down RGX with everything going on.
I like
but
this match.
I'm kind of leaning on RGX on that one to kind of rebound on that.
A little bit, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Yep. It's going to put him in his place kind of thing is what I'm looking at with that. But we'll talk about more about that. That's off the cuff. We'll talk more when we do the full rundown of Full Gear in 2 weeks. So that's pretty great. I'll mention my other one here as well. We do have a War Games Advantage match. It is Atlas Kiyama versus Smooth Rock. And what's funny is when you think about it and you look at champions and former champions and all that fun stuff, we have Atlas who just lost, and yeah, it's kind of wild considering Atlas and Smooth just lost their respective titles, and now they're facing each other for War Games advantage. That was quite literally unplanned, because that match was actually planned before the title situation, and now it's cleaned up. So that's amazing. I don't have to pick on that one. I'm going to sit tight on that, considering we got time before that one to look at the full War Games and whatnot. But we'll get there. What have you got to announce? Because we'll do the title matches last.
All right. I have Supreme Rock taking on Pushino.
Pushino. I'm not sleeping on Pushino anymore. I'm picking Pushino for that one.
Yeah, I am too. And I also have a let me try to talk. I also have a War Games advantage match.
Okay.
It is going to be Hell's Kitchen, Lucifer and Mac and Cheese versus the Golden Peaks, Eli and Mark Steele.
Ooh, I like the tag match for advantage. That's fun.
Yeah.
I still like Hell's Kitchen. I like that. I like that naming for it. We'll see. But
I really do like that name, but I mean, Eli's been Eliing.
you can't go against Eli right now. He is doing it where it counts. So
He is.
well, how about I announce the Canadian Championship, the Cleveland Championship, and that was legit. I said Canadian because it is, but MJF renamed the International to the American. It's the same deal here. So the FPL Cleveland Championship Varga Rules match. We'll see the GMSG defend against Static. Now, Static came close. He had the European title for a bit there. I don't know how he'd fare against GMSG. I don't bet against GMSG. No offense, Static. It really probably wouldn't matter who it is.
Right.
If it was me, I wouldn't be picking myself. Like that's
No.
that's a different reason, but still. Yeah, it's a tricky one. And again, a Watson rules, Varga rules, on an AEW show, there's a lot of points that can happen without the need for bonuses. So it can come down to actually just getting it right, which is possible. So I'm leaning GMSG on that, but how about you? I mean, obviously, but
Yeah. GMSG.
What have you got? You've got the American title, right?
I do. It's going to be Will Colt. He'll be taking on Rate Wrestle.
Ooh.
In the FPL American Championship 4 Corners strap match.
Oh, that's violent as hell. This is the first time I'm like, oh, Will Colt's in trouble.
It is a violent match, and Rate knows violence.
That's the kind of match where I'm like, oh, okay. So, off the cuff, I kind of favor Rate on that, but I'll probably be thinking Will Colt by the time we get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Rate's second time going for this, because I beat him in this the first time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's tough. I don't know who I'm going to pick yet, because both these guys are great. So, yeah, I'll have to think on that one.
We'll come back to that. That's all I have to announce. I presume same for you? Yeah? All right.
Yep.
We'll wrap it there, guys. We'll call it quick here because next week we'll have some more matches to announce, and that's going to be about it. And same for the week after with the go-home at that point. But we'll keep it quick here. Blah. It is, again, FPL Frontline League over on X. Frontline Prediction League right here on YouTube. You're watching it right now, so please like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We do appreciate that. And also, like I said, check out Top of the Card Pod on Twitter, on X. Top of the Card Podcast, wherever you podcast, you'll find it. It is there, and you can come into the Discord, see the booking pages, see the picks pages, do some character chat, see some awesome stuff. There's video versions of it, text versions, audio versions, so loads of stuff in there. Lots going on, and we are coming up on, like I said, this is the 200th episode of Trenches. We've got a lot coming up next year. The Mania season's kicking in. The Rumble season is coming as well. Like, we're in that period where you've got to be on 3 out of 5 shows, and it's basically Full Gear and World's End are like the last 2. So if you want to be eligible for the Rumble, you've got to pretty much hit these main shows. That's kind of the point. So please, please, please keep that in mind. Get your picks in for that. I know American Thanksgiving's coming up. I had mine a month ago, but yours is coming up. So there's distractions and whatnot, but we'll keep it going there. But yeah, we'll leave it with that. See you next week, everybody. Thanks again. Have a good night.